Bears QB Caleb Williams believed to be on short leash amid Tyson Bagent's progress. Keep in mind that Caleb Williams went 13 for 15, 115 yards versus the Chiefs, and everyone's acting like he had the worst game ever. Did he have like one or two bad moments? Yes. Holding the ball too long on that one play was something that was a little bit like, okay, what the F? But for the most part, Caleb pretty much did what he does. We were talking about preseason where we're playing base vanilla offense, and these are the type of things you have to kind of do to get the cobwebs out. You want to see your offense committing false start penalties and kind of doing the things that you're trying to work on. We're talking about two vastly different teams. The Chiefs have been at this machine for 7+ years at least. The Bears have been at this for under a year. So to be honest with you, this isn't shocking to me. This is Chicago media. You guys want to understand why I hate Chicago media? Let's take a look at this retarded nonsense, okay? Because this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Chicago media. Last week, Bagent signed. I don't give a flying fuck. But I'm gonna rate it. Fuck it. Last week, Bagent signed a 2-year extension worth $10 million. Very happy for the young man. Third-year quarterback finished 46 of 69 for 511 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Okay. To the game-winning touchdown to help the Bears defeat the Chiefs, I don't care. Williams finished his preseason on a high note, leading Chicago to a touchdown against the Chiefs' backups, but his struggles against Kansas City's first-team defense were concerning. I watched that game. The struggles weren't him. The struggles were the fact that we weren't running the ball enough. And the struggles were basically miscues. Caleb wasn't terrible. He had 2 bad plays, the holding the ball too long, and then the one in the red zone where he didn't take the check down because he's going for the touchdown. That is mentality, not something where I'm like, I'm worried about this. I have seen this kid play. He had 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,500 yards last year. Meanwhile, the Super Bowl champion fucking Jalen Hurts had less than that. Yes, less than that, because he didn't have to have more than that. But you know what I mean? I'm not worried about this kid like all these stupid pundits are, because they are trying to promote this nonsense. Ben Johnson noted the mistakes made were the same ones seen at the beginning of training camp. Okay. And this is a second-year quarterback. This is what happens with young quarterbacks. Chicago Bears expected to have a short lease. Yes. This is news. During an appearance on 670 Scores and He and Harris show on Monday, Dan Weird, or whatever the fuck it is, said it's too early to be talking about the Bears benching Williams for Bagent early in the season, but things could change if Johnson doesn't see enough progress by week 5, at least temporarily. I don't think his head coach is going to go sit around his hands and go, we're just going to give Caleb forever to meet and reach the checkpoints we set out for him. This is stupid, dude. You're basically saying if Caleb Williams basically has a horrific start to the season, and basically we are 0-6 by the fucking, or 0-5 or 0-4 by the 5th week, we're gonna, okay, great. But even then, he'll have to be like awful. He'll have to be Anthony Richardson terrible. This is Chicago media. This is the shit that they're gonna put out for you. It's like the type of shit you go, like look and go, huh? First of all, if you are taking preseason any bit seriously, I think I need you to get checked out mentally by a psychiatrist. We have done this 1,000 which ways. Here's how I know this is stupid. You want to know who really excelled in preseason? Justin Fields. Tell me how that worked out. Mitch Trubisky excelled in his rookie year in fucking preseason. Do you want to know why I don't care about preseason? Because it's preseason. This isn't a big deal to me. You guys are freaking the F out because you dumb fucking Chicago pundits do this all the time. There is no one that hates Chicago sports more than Chicago media. I don't think you hate Chicago sports media enough. I think you need to understand I despise these people on a level you can't possibly understand. If and when the Bears are great and they turn it around, because the Bears aren't predictable this season, I don't know. I don't need these fuckers talking about it. I don't want to hear a word from them. I want y'all to shut the hell up, to be honest with you. Yeah. And so, because you have a QB2 that everyone in the building believes in and continues to show significant progress from where he was 2+ years ago in preseason against backups, by the way. I like Tyson Bagent as the next guy, but I have seen him play. No, we're not doing this, are we? We're not having this conversation, right? We're not sitting here. This is what I'm talking about. I like Tyson Bagent. I really do. I think this kid should get a chance one day to start. I really think he could be a decent, one day, maybe really be a decent top 15 quarterback one day. You cannot be seriously having this conversation right now, though. And by the way, even inkling at this, it's just what I'm talking about. Listen, we're not saying this is a conversation we're going to have soon, but but you're saying it's a conversation that's somehow in the air, as if it's not completely full-fledged ridiculous. We're talking about a quarterback who already broke Bears records with no coordinator. He did 10 times better than any rookie Bears quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life, with the worst coaching situation of any quarterback you can name. Now that we have someone coming in who has high expectations, yes, who is challenging him to do certain things, do you think that Ben Johnson took the job because he looked at Caleb Williams and said, wow, this kid sucks? No, he looked at him tearing up Detroit and said, yo, this kid can ball. Yo, this kid's got talent. Yeah, he's the number one pick. We're talking about the number one pick in the draft, who is in the worst situation, to me, done pretty damn well. And because Chicago media has this vision of this kid having 30-plus touchdowns as a rookie in his rookie year, because they saw C.J. Stroud walk in and have a fluke season, and then guess what? Not even a fluke season, a good rookie year. What happened to C.J. Stroud in the second year? No one wants to pick up on that. You guys like to do this phenom BS, right? Because you're doing the same thing with Jaden Daniels, all you stupid little Commander fans. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear a word if that kid starts fucking struggling. I don't want to hear a word from you motherfuckers. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear you talking shit. You put this on yourselves. The problem with sports media is you have a bunch of people that put these ridiculous expectations on these fucking athletes and don't understand jack shit about the sport. This is going to be a process. First of all, what you're looking for Caleb in the first fucking 4 or 5 weeks is not ridiculous progress. Don't turn the ball over, lead the team to wins, get the system down, and get it acclimated. That's it. Then you start building upon that system. If Caleb Williams walks in the first game and throws for 160, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and the Bears win that game, that is a giant nuclear win for progress. That's what I'm looking for. Baseline. I'm not looking for this kid to walk in here in a new system and look like God the first fucking week. What are you doing? This is the problem with Chicago media. They don't know how to handle having quarterbacks, dude. See, Green Bay fans, they didn't freak out about Jordan Love. Say what you want, but they didn't truly freak out about Jordan Love. I mean, Jesus Christ, the way you Bears fans are talking, it's insane. Remember when Jordan Love by the way, we were talking tons of shit. This is how I know and how I remember, because I am very guilty of this and I deserve this. And I learned my lesson, by the way, from this. I learned my lesson. This kid was terrible. This just no joke. Remember that Raiders game or the Giants game, but really the Raiders game? Oh my God, Jordan Love looked terrible against the Raiders, and we were like, are we sure this kid's good? All of a sudden, this kid hit his stride. He hit his stride. He picked the system up. And this is a quarterback who was not drafted number 1. This is a kid who was drafted at the bottom end of the first round. He could have got rid of him at any time, really. He excelled, went in, won a playoff game. Rest is history. And he looks like he's going to be a nice young quarterback. How did that work out, huh? See, that's a difference between a fucking franchise. I hate the Packers. I hate their fans. They suck. But, dude, that's the difference between a fucking franchise that knows how to deal with a quarterback, and you see Chicago media, you see the way they're treating this kid over what? Actually having a good year? How are you doing this? Holy hell. Think about what I just said. There was a point where I think freaking homeboy had more interceptions and touchdowns in the year. Freaking Love, and then all of a sudden he hit his stride, and that was it, because they were patient. And you people want to start talking about around week 5, we're going to change to Tyson Bagent? What are you expecting? Oh my God. You have to understand how embarrassing it is to be a Bears fan. Looking at this, you got to be insane to think this shit. It's crack cocaine theory. It's just the type of shit I'm talking about. Chicago sports media is a joke to humanity. How do you Bears fans not get more angry like I do? I'm not trying to be the number 1 Caleb Williams fanboy, but I am trying to tell you from someone that actually spent his entire life with a Tom Brady expert lover in my father. I think I know a thing or two about watching successful quarterback play, watching it every goddamn Sunday. And do you want to know the main thing that you have to do to build a successful quarterback, and why a lot of these fucking franchises fail because of idiots like you in Chicago sports media? Patience. You morons want the world in week 1. I'm here to tell you right now, cupcake, ups and downs are coming. You might have a phenomenal week 1 with Caleb Williams. He might throw up 330, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Next week, he might throw fucking 165, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. You're like, sky is falling. No, it's called patience. And even then, this kid, as horrible as he was, How is 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions a complete failure of a season? How is that like a bad season? And he's one of the only, and he's like one of the only quarterbacks in the last God knows how many quarterbacks to walk into Green Bay and win. And you could tell me, oh, well, circumstances. He should have beat Green Bay anyways. He led the team down the field to beat Green Bay. Do you understand if the Bears had a competent coach? Caleb Williams probably had, okay, let's count him. The Washington game. He had that one. He led the team down to win that game. Don't even lie to yourselves. It's what happened. He did that. Played like shit the whole game. And it wasn't really him. It was God, the offensive line. It was the coaching. Oh, my God. Still, let it down the win. When it came down the winning time, what did he go and do? He won that game. Eberflus fucked that up. Okay, Packers game. You go in. You have the game won. Boom. Let's go. What happened? Who lost that game? Eberflus. Eberflus lost us that game. Once again, that's two. That's 2 wins that Caleb Williams had in the back pocket. Vikings game, I'm going to put that kind of on Caleb in the last play, but dude, he balled. He torched them. You should have won. Your defense was so bad that game, you got torched by Sam Darnold. So you know what? I'm going to count that as the defense losses that game. And Caleb made a play, but if you're counting on a rookie to be bailing you out, maybe that's the problem. Let's count that one. Okay, he should have won that Vikings game. We should have won that one, but I'll put that as a wash. You're right. I'll put that on Caleb for argument's sake. Fine, cool. I mean, it was one play. I think the fact that whatever. I said my point. The Lions game. That one, holy hell, played like shit for the first half. He torches them the second half, sets them on fire. He actually does a cartel hit on these boys. All right, it was like a cartel hit that game in the second half. That game was, oh, what happens? Coaching staff doesn't know what they're doing. Eberflus basically again shows that he's an incompetent head coach. We lose that game. Do you want to know what those games have in common, though? That Caleb balled? There was a competent offensive coordinator in the fucking in the film room. Thomas Brown. So, take that with a grain of salt. But you had that game won. That's all you had to do. You had that game. You had it. You had that Detroit game. Eberflus blew that shit. If you aren't getting the picture, what I'm putting down, if you're not getting what I'm throwing down, if you're not getting what I'm telling you, Matt Eberflus is losing you football games, boo-boo. Matt Eberflus. Caleb Williams had several games that he won for you, and you blew them. So I'm supposed to be afraid of this kid because we're in a new system. Oh, God. Let me tell you this. If you're scared, I don't have to tell you. His problems are what? He tries to play hero ball. He tries to fucking hold the ball too long to make the perfect play. Yeah. Second-year quarterbacks tend to do that. You know who does that a lot? CJ Stroud. Are we afraid of CJ Stroud being a bust now because he got humbled a little bit? Good. I think he'll be fine. I think you guys have this deep fear of all these other teams, but they don't have what they have. The Bears have one thing, I think, hopefully, in the future. They look like they have depth and talent and a coach that looks like he knows what he's doing. Now, granted, you could say maybe it won't work out. But what are we doing here? To where you're already thinking week 5, that's it? If by your mentality, the Packers would never have Jordan Love then. That's the difference between a great franchise and Chicago sports media. They don't understand how great development works. They just think, oh my God, this just grows on trees. It doesn't. You're not blessed with a goddamn quarterback out of the sky. I'm sorry to tell you this. You're not blessed. You're not given one from the fucking quarterback fairy. The quarterback stork flying in to hand you a quarterback to develop. And he's a golden child. No, stupid. You have to have patience. And seeing people, and fans too, certain fans disgust me. And they do. Like certain Chicago Bears fans legitimately disgust me. You actually are disgusting, pathetic, brained losers because you guys think in ways that just are just loser brained. It shows you don't know the game. Because you don't pay attention to anything but your pathetic, sorry worldview of being a Bears fan. Why don't you step outside to actually see how other teams do it? I have never seen I cannot believe that this is a discussion at any point. By week 5, Caleb Williams will be the starting quarterback. Caleb Williams will be the starting quarterback this entire year. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell you this. You're going to be pissed and you're going to be in love with what this kid's going to do. And more often than not, I'm thinking you're going to freaking love him. And by the end of the year, I'm expecting 23-plus touchdowns, 3,700 yards, maybe 4 interceptions, lowers it down. That's what I'm expecting for the start of the year. When he excels, when you see he balls, it'll be the next year, really. And the reason I say next year, he'll have the system down. We're talking about gaining the system this year, gaining what we're doing, gaining the cues, gaining the timing. You have to understand, this is a lot different than, hey, kid, go out and let's do some screens, do some easy stuff, and you just do what you do. No, you're following a script, you're following a cue, you're following shit. But if you think Ben Johnson is really considering Tyson Bagent's going to be the guy by week 5, at any point in his head, you need to leave. You need to get the hell out. And Dan Weirder, you're better than this, dude. Like, you're better than this. You're better than this, Dan. You're better than this. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is just pathetic, shoddy conversation. I'm not trying to be the biggest Bears propagandist with Caleb Williams. I have been for this kid ever since but I wasn't always a Caleb guy. In fact, you can ask a lot of people around me. I didn't want to draft Caleb. I wanted to stick with Justin and see with patience, because I always believed in patience. The problem is, at some point, you got to realize that Justin is what he is, and he just can't be changed. The thing is, what I've seen from Caleb compared to Justin is just light years different. We're talking about a quarterback that's much ahead of Justin Fields at this point than Justin was at his second year. Just light years ahead in terms of playing the position. And that's just legitimately my entire analysis. So I don't understand why we're having this conversation. And I can tell you this right now, you fans are stupid as hell. Winning every game in preseason means nothing. Being great in every game in preseason doesn't mean anything. I can tell you this right fucking now. Tell you this right now. I was more worried for the offensive line, as in I was more worried for some of the tackles, really. Actually, I wasn't even worried with the offensive line. They held their own, to be honest with you. I mean, against the Chiefs, they held their own. You know what I was really worried about? I'm worried about the miscues. But then again, I thought about it. Of course this is happening. This is a new system. If you take away the penalties, I'm going to tell you this right now, the Bears probably scored 10 more points in that half if you take away the penalties. The penalties killed those drives. And to me, that's a good thing. Now, granted, you can get mad at Caleb for doing the same mistakes. Well, those are mistakes you're going to have to live with then, because I don't think they're that big of an issue. The issues are if you're throwing interceptions and you're not seeing the field and you are killing drives and you can't throw the ball down the field. I'm not worried about Caleb Williams doing that, bro. I'm really not. If you are, that's your problem. I don't worry about that. There's any problems you have to live with? Great. But I saw this dude take Jared Goff, who has key glaring issues, and it worked. You're telling me you can't make Caleb Williams work? Then I don't have to tell you, dude. Then maybe I don't know. But I'm good. I saw Jared Goff, who had 10 times more glaring issues, coming in. And we're talking about a quarterback that was rebuilt from the ground up after being in the Super Bowl, bro, with Sean McVay. And Sean McVay said, I can't do this with you. Ben Johnson said, I can. Now, the number 1 pick in the draft, one of the most phenomenal talents to ever hit this damn city in years. And you idiots are really talking about week 5 being the day you pull the plug. And you're saying we should be afraid to have this conversation. Shut the hell up, man. Grow the fuck up.